what happens is when somebody's living with the trauma of an abortion, the trauma of any kind, it's manifesting itself in their behavior, in their emotional ability to connect or disconnect or not connect, I should say. And so, we're really not doing ourselves any favors with our relationships when we don't share these things, because there is help and there is connection and there's a lot less judgment and shame attached to abortion, because we are talking about it now so much more. But we have to help people understand their feelings are valid. We need to validate their grief, their loss, because that's really what oftentimes it takes us a number of years. It takes us having children that we finally recognize what we lost in that abortion. I could say I had an abortion, but I could never allow myself to acknowledge what I aborted. It was only when I finally faced that I aborted, I killed a child, my child, and quickly did the math and realized that child would be 19 years old, that my walls of denial came down and my tears started flowing. And I'll be honest with you, I remember standing in my basement crying, thinking about this and thinking, I don't have the right to cry. I made this decision. I'm stuck living in this pain. This is my punishment. This is what I have to live with. And if it wasn't for the fact that a girl that I knew, a friend that I knew, had mentioned a couple of months earlier that she had had an abortion and she had gone through some healing program that I frankly told her she didn't really need and it was no big deal, get over it. She came back to my mind as I'm standing there in the basement crying, and I called her and I said, Dana, I killed my baby. I had an abortion, and I just kind of started crying and spewing out words, and she was at my door before I even realized she had hung up, and she just held me and she said, Georgette, it's okay to cry. Giving me permission to weep was so powerful. I can still feel that relief in my spirit as I was told that it was okay to grieve for what I had lost, because I had never been given permission to do that. I had never allowed myself to do that.